Hello, you folks. I'm here at the Resident Hotel in San Jose. There's a very interesting expo. You might get to know all the crafts are really Costa Rican signature, such as the ox cart that you see behind me. You don't see ox carts on the streets in the country anymore. It's a matter of the past. But I was thinking that maybe sharing some insights of this expo of this town, which is located 40 kilometers away westward from the city. But it's well known as the place where all the typical furniture is made. Let's go inside. Well, everything seems to announce that this expo is really Costa Rica in nature. As you can see, not just the lady, but the ox cart. Why were ox carts painted that way? The first ones to start with the tradition were Sicilians from Italy. And they were the ones that came up with their painted ox carts. And then the tradition was taken over by Costa Rican with their own styles. Yeah, this is how a typical ox cart looks like. You can order them as a small ones too, as a souvenir. But this is the real one. Yeah, all the details are very typical. The one on top right depicts the national flower. They call it the Orquídea Morada, or it's an orchid, yeah. As you can see how beautiful the colors. Sarchi is a destiny where nature is art and crafts. You can see that even some other agencies like the German cultural one is supporting this exposition here. And you can see also some of the, okay, there you go. Some of the main features in Sarchi, such as restaurants and typical crafts, coffee, yeah. And you can find many typical restaurants in the region. It is, everything is also interesting because behind mountains there are some rivers and wild places you can visit in this area, which is not just the town, but you know the whole county. Yeah, comprises the Central Valley part and the part behind, going to San Carlos, which is kind of wild. And how exciting! You just watch the video and you can figure out what Sarchi is all about. Yeah, there are a lot of fancy and nice places, cozy places where you can go to and watch nature at its best. But there are also many typical houses, such as when you go to Germany, you see a lot of kind of Tudor houses and that are still long time ago built. Same thing happens in Sarchi, even though you don't see tile roofs anymore. Coffee, yeah, because it's a place where the high altitude coffee is grown. You know, high altitude coffee is the one that is more in demand. You can see how the artists at that place start painting the ox carts. Yeah, they're Costa Ricans. All of them are. Some are small souvenirs, but the ox cart is kind of the national icon. It's just the very Costa Rican identity. It became one of the national icons aside with other things such as the national flower, the orchid and yeah, coffee. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you that some of the best coffee is grown in the areas. And you see the plants. This is in the highlands. Yeah, they make it sports, and yeah, there are hotels and good places where you can relax. Okay, yeah, most of the people that founded this place were Criollos, mostly Spanish who moved from the east to the western side of the Central Valley. The girls are pretty. Some Germans also settled there. This is the main town. And it's not a surprise to see green-eyed or blue-eyed people in the area, aside from the locals, which are fairly white and dark-haired. This is the main town, as you can see. It's nice, isn't it? Okay. This is an original ox cart, and these are typical drawings. You see sometimes them in traffic posts or electric posts in some areas. As you can see, it's how beautiful. They kept the oxen one here and one on the other side. And they're turning now into China, China, yeah, they do. Coffee pots. That's where they are turning into. Would you please handle that for me? Okay. And this is what they call, thank you, Perchit. This is the coffee they make in the area. As I told you, it shows the national icon, one of them, which is the ox cart wheel. But this is high altitude coffee that you get there in the area. But nowadays, all sorts of crafts are made out of wood in the area. You know, this is a Catholic country, so many people love having small figurines of Mother Jesus, or they really like it. And so this marketing line goes into selling, and you see so nice stuff in here. Yeah, a typical house, decorated. This is they do coffee. They mine coffee in the area. How to say? Cooking pot, isn't it beautiful? It's certainly very beautiful made. They are craftsmen. This is a manual coffee maker. Yeah, and you serve the coffee here on this small iron glasses for the most part. It used to be before that way. Yeah, typical dresses. They are handkerchiefs, all that sort of stuff that you might take along. It's really, well, it's not really very fashionable, but it certainly is for certain occasions. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Andres Mesa.
Andres Mesa. Yeah, typical of Alajuela. There are many Mesa guys. What's this fair all about?
Well, this fair is about 6 companies of artisans that we produce handmade coffee. There's also some candles over here, and all over there are some textiles over here, and there's some handcraft of chorreadores. That is the
there's handmade coffee makers.
Yes, yes, of course. And over there are some like religious wooden handcrafts.
You have some furniture there in Sarchi as well.
There's Sarchi is well known as for the image of the traditional.
Yeah.
This one, and also for wooden furniture.
Can you tell me about the typical hat? That's really funny. Can you bring it close to the camera? No, the typical hat.
The hat. Oh.
Yeah. This is the typical Costa Rican hat, right?
It's called chonete.
Chonete. Yeah.
Well, this is like the typical that is used in, like in the coffee plantations,
Okay.
or in the coffee, in the cane, in the sugar cane, also
Phils.
fields, and is used like in the country.
Uh, why is Sarchi the artisan uh, uh, meeting place in Costa Rica? Are there many? Did you love art that much, or
Well, it's like
it's a
from,
peculiar town, you know?
yes, it's a very peculiar town that is located in the mountains,
All right.
and it's like the place where the ox cart
Okay. Yeah, where they make the ox card. Yeah.
were like really built
Yeah.
and handcraft.
Yeah. It's this
And-
is folklore town. Can you tell me something about those coffee grains?
Yes, of course. Well,
Can you explain why there are different color of them?
well, this is the process that our coffee is taken.
Okay.
This is like the first, like we
When you picked it up,
we pick it
yeah,
from
and
the-
dry it
from
out,
the-
yeah,
from the
in
plant,
the open fields, yeah.
and then we let it sun dry.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
And then we make like, after that we peel off, and this is how it looks.
Oh, this is the seed, which is the
This is the seed.
is the end product. I see.
Okay, and the big difference is this seed is washed. And
Okay.
you can see the difference from this one to this one. This seed is washed,
Yeah, it's kind of gray look.
and this one
is, yeah,
is like
gold one,
Gold
yeah.
one, yes. It's because the honey of the fruit is
Okay.
introduced into the
pulp.
into the meal, into
the,
the
it's
green.
kind of the pulp of
Yes,
yeah,
the pulp, right.
of the fruit, yeah,
And this is afterwards that is
roasted. Yeah, I
roasted.
see.
And this is like the whole
Yeah, the whole
the
process
whole
is
process
depicted
of
there.
our coffee.
And is your coffee in demand outside of Costa Rica and Germany and other places? You make exports?
Yeah, we do export our coffee, but like man to man. We don't export like huge to huge companies or huge coffee shops. It's
Kind of
like,
gourmet.
like more like a gourmet,
For Starbucks too.
like for little coffee shops.
You export to Germany, England, and Holland and those places?
Well, only if we get contact by them,
Okay.
by those countries. But we have export to Canada, we have export to Uruguay, we have export to Emirates.
Oh yeah, really?
And we're trying to export right now to Ireland.
Ireland. I heard that Costa Rican coffee in Sarchi is high altitude coffee, so it's much in demand, right?
Well, the particular thing of our coffee is that it mixes the honey, the taste of this, and
Okay.
the altitude. And the altitude gives you a certain acidity that that gives you
The pH
typical-
goes lower, I see.
yes, and this acidity is like like the wines.
Okay.
It gives you some level if you're
Of quality and
quality
taste.
and taste.
Oh, I see, which is much in demand. By good
And
coffee,
it depends on the altitude.
yeah, that is much in demand by people who like good coffee.
Exactly.
Excuse me. Well, it's been a pleasure. I paint myself, but I guess this is a very exciting fair. I wanted to come here. Sarchi has something much to offer. I seen like wildlife sites and rivers and
Yeah, well, one of the other attractives of Sarchi is that there are a lot of waterfalls and blue celestial waterfalls and ponds are very nice. And there's also some of the botanic garden
Oh, yeah?
also. And actually this garden exports to Germany, to Holland, and other places in Europe. And well, it has the huge, the biggest old card in the world.
I'm very grateful for your kindness. I'm going over to see some of the people learning how to paint an ox card. I really attracted to that too.
That's wonderful.
Is there anything you'd like to say to our followers, YouTube, foreign ones?
Well, you can follow us in our all medias, in our all social medias, like La Junta,
Show it.
like this,
Show it.
La Junta. And you can follow us in Instagram and on Facebook.
Okay, that's it. I'm very grateful for your kindness to explain what Sarchi is all involved into. I'm telling our followers that most of the people here were Spanish settlers from the west, from the east, and they started mining coffee and all these folklore stuff because Sarchi is typical. It's not every town that is like this one in the Central Valley, and it represents much of the Costa Rican identity.
Yeah.
So as to say.
Yeah, and it's like the history of Costa Rica can be felt in the streets of Sarchi, and in the coffee plantations, and also in the downtown, and also like in the sugarcane plantations. There's also, you can feel and you can know all the Costa Rican culture.
It seems that you love the country. Thank you very much for your participation.
You are very welcome.
Bye-bye. Well, part of the experience here is teaching people here with special formats how to paint an ox card. And it seems that they're very excited about it. ¿Les gusta pintar a ustedes? La carreta típica? Yeah, they say they do. Well, this is all for today. And I'm using now the typical Costa Rican hat that our farmers used to. And that's very keen. It represents our identity. Enjoy the day, and I'm glad to show you a little bit more about Costa Rica. Bye-bye, Rudy.